You think you know a place. But did you know that 40 feet below the bustling streets of Brighton, there's a Victorian treasure? We're going to take you on a tour of this magnificent structure that stood the test of time. A feat of construction that's informed generations of civil engineers and is still used by thousands of people every day. Welcome to the subterranean world of Brighton Sewers. A space that's captured the creative spirit of filmmakers and musicians. These cavernous structures inspire the imagination. But their Victorian creators didn't build to inspire. They were under pressure to rid the streets of sewage and wastewater, and this was their solution.
Well, in the 19th century, Brighton was the fastest growing town in the entire country. The building was going on faster than any provision for sewage or mains water, and they gave up. So there were huge health implications. Conditions were absolutely horrendous. Cholera was particularly bad in Brighton. There were several big outbreaks, which the local authorities very carefully managed to conceal. And so they started building, the legacy that we have today are these vast, almost like cathedrals of brickwork. And they were just desperately needed.
Even today, this Victorian facility helps dispose of around 22 million gallons of wastewater from the Brighton area every day. But in wet, stormy weather, that can rise to 90 million. And every year, thousands of visitors join Southern Water's expert guides on a unique underground experience. The Victorian engineers built for the future. 44 miles of tunnels, 7 million bricks and a huge vision.
It's a really fascinating experience. There's a whole new world, 40 foot underneath the streets of Brighton, and I really recommend other people to see it for themselves. It really is an architectural jewel, in fact, and it's a really beautiful thing.
But if they're to continue to serve the city, they need constant maintenance. In the early hours of the morning, the huge catch tanks are cleaned out and tons of grit and other solids are removed. Giant vacuum pumps have taken over from the men who used to shovel this out by hand.
In the old days, we used to have pan shovels and we used to go like panning for gold. And then we used to get the gold rings and jewellery, but now it just sucks it straight up into the machine and then we go and deliver it to landfill sites.
Today, this is one of the biggest problems facing the Southern Water underground workforce. Fat, oil and grease from kitchens across Brighton and Hove has to be scraped off the walls to prevent blockages and even flooding. Emerging from the gloom into the light, visitors are fast-forwarded into the modern means of wastewater treatment. Southern Water has undertaken two major projects. The first, a 3-mile-long storm tunnel running under the seafront at Brighton and Hove. It's big enough to drive a double-decker bus through it. The second scheme is a £300 million state-of-the-art treatment works, which will clean the wastewater from the city and ensure cleaner seas for Sussex.
Amazingly, these 19th century sewers still have a huge role to play in keeping this city clean. A lasting tribute to Victorian civil engineering. Come and see for yourself.